ready.
Okay, ask Doc Ellis. This is Doc Ellis, the hick doctor from Oklahoma City. This is August 28th. All right, and this is part A, and then I'll go to August 28th, part B. Fairlene, OWCP from HI is Hawaii?
Yep.
Wow, I need to come see you. Okay. Works for a Hawaiian physician that treats OWC claims. Thank you, Hawaiian physician. How do I upgrade a diagnosis? Does this require another medical narrative? Yes. Have your doctor or have someone consultant like myself, it could maybe be telehealth, do the medical rationale, the medical narrative, and answer all the 5 elements of federal workers' comp, and then give the medical rationale how it needs to be upgraded. Like you've got a bad knee, now you're getting a hip problem. Federal workers' comp is extremely fair. If employment factors contribute to slightest amount, 7% covered. If it aggravates a pre-existing condition, the slightest amount is covered. If it causes a future condition, the slightest amount is covered. You just have to have a doctor to write it, and then you may have to appeal it, because they may get a second opinion who disagrees with you. Now remember, your doctor that you choose his reports have more probative value. Okay, so you can always have your doctor do oral hearing. All the oral hearing doctors people ever have talked very honest. They understand the laws pro federal employee, and if he doesn't want to do them, get a consultation. Like I'm licensed to do brain surgery, but I don't do it because I'm not trained. So can say, Doc, I want you to consult on this and give us your 2 cents worth, and at least you'll have 2 opinions. Okay, Ronnie, CA-17 due to status report. I don't know where to begin. I work for the United States Postal Service in Tulsa, was started in February 2023. It's been ongoing. Been on light duty since January 2024. Management wants me off light duty now. Well, management, when you get a medical degree, put a white coat, well, I'll give a damn about your opinion. In the meantime, you've got to have medical evidence to put somebody back to work. And wanting back to work, I understand. That's good for you. Okay, now I've lost 80% to 90% use of my shoulder and arm. All my doctor, he quotes this, doing is giving me a CA-7 every month and not help me at all. He was infuriated when I asked for a detailed summation narrative report because he's already submitted it. ECOMP called me telling me ECOMP is electronic. You get to know what the government has on you. You get to look at your account. They do not have anything from him. Then he may have been writing the letters. His staff may not have been submitting to ECOMP. Because if it's not your ECOMP account, he didn't submit it. And so they're not going to do anything. You can't read his mind. Okay, so you should be infuriated. That doctor should not be mad at you. Okay. Nor do they know why I was even on light duty. So they're not even getting the CA-17s. So you take one to your supervisor and you submit it to ECOMP.
Does it have to be submitted through ECOMP? Or
It has to be submitted to ECOMP.
Okay.
Everything's electronic.
Okay.
If you don't have an ECOMP file and you don't want to get on the government online and find out how to do it, I have a staff that'll do that for you, walk you through it. Okay. And love doing it, by the way. This is we done a schedule ward, and you have to send it in by ECOMP, and the guy's in Florida on a boat getting ready to do a cruise around the Bahamas and all that stuff, but he can't leave until he gets his ECOMP done and submitted, so he has to stay by the library. He has the only computer he has access to, and so Sherry and he talked on the phone, and she walked him through it all, and now she gets pictures of fish. Okay, mm-hmm. So we love helping you with your ECOMP account. So it sounds like he's not submitting this stuff. Maybe he thinks the staff is. But you get on your ECOMP and see if the day you saw him, if they submit that stuff. Check it every so often it's not submitted. All right? I'm an Army of One and know nothing about how to navigate ECOMP. Well, we'll work you on that. They're preying on my ignorance. My supervisor asked me to get this done so I can go back to his department. I agree with your supervisor, because all your supervisors need is CA-17 with your restrictions so you can put you to work. Also, you're going crazy not working. Just to make sure you don't hurt yourself. So you can always get a consult. You're in Tulsa, come down, we'll see you, we'll do that. let this doctor be your treating doctor. We'll be glad to assist him, help fill it out for him. So he gets mad, then I wonder about it. Like, I'm licensed to do brain surgery. If I did it, it'd be malpractice. I'm not trained. If you can't submit the stuff right, get somebody that can. All right. A friend told me that she heard that I'm a running joke and the supervisors there are being a fraud. Well, I don't think so. They need something in writing so they can give you a job. It may not be the supervisor's fault at all. Don't quit your job. I'm faced with quitting my job. There's no place for me to go as a mail handler and cannot handle ridicule much longer. Well, I understand that. Come here, I'll show you how to handle ridicule. Okay? I know this probably won't be sent to Dr. Ellis. Well, after Dr. Ellis is reading that, I just throw a Hail Mary. No, come on in and see. Let us work it. Let's go through it. Let's take care of you. Let's get our paralegal department and just see what's going on and fix it. Okay. VA claim denied. Surprise, surprise. From Kentucky. Can you look at my denied and help me with a claim? I want to file secondary for tinnitus. Now, tinnitus, you got 10% for tinnitus. Tinnitus contributes to sleep apnea. That's 50%. Tinnitus contributes to hypertension. So if you ever have a heart attack or stroke, you make sure your widow gives us a call and we will get her a widow pension. All right. Now, okay. And here is a VA claim denied from Minnesota. Surprise, surprise. You know, the trouble doing VAs, I get so pissed off at the VA. Okay. I passed my enlistment exam and spent 3 years in the Army. At my ETS physical in January 75, they heard a murmur and called it a natural physical murmur. That'd be a physiological probably. And did not qualify for any disability, which was fine with me. I was 20 years old, felt fine in 2022. I passed out on the job and was taken to the hospital and had to have emergency aortic valve replacement. And again in 2008 because of endocarditis, and again in 2020. And it goes on. Now, this is the rule. If they miss it, and then a murmur, and then you've got rheumatic fever or a valve, an abnormal valve making no, they eat it. Well, they actually picked up a murmur. They mistakenly called it a physiological murmur, which is very common, especially a young man like you. But you had that genetic disability, and they should never have hired you. And then the stress of being in the military contributes, but by law, they have to eat it. They should have done a better physical. So get that taken care of. And all their replacement stuff, so you should be permanent total. And then widow gets a pension if you die of anything cardiac. So get that covered. Now, it depends on what state you're in and what your rating officer's like, but you may win it the first time. You may have to go to the Board of Veterans Appeals, and they'll accept it. Because they know the law is fair and it's pro-veteran. But a lot of people that work for the VA and the lower deals don't know. And a lot of doctors that work for the VA, maybe QTC, LHI, sometimes get letters like, you're finding a lot of positive things. It's intimidation. Okay. All right. This is OWCP, 2 cases. Left broken arm, broken elbow, neck, and shoulder. The first case was broken elbow and nerve damage. Yeah, nerve damage. The second was neck and shoulder, 2003. For the first case, I worked for the first I worked 4 hours, 5 pounds, no case in mail. In 2024, February, out of the job, telling me now refused to pay me for 4 hours. Okay? If your doctor can't help you, we'll be glad to work with you, and maybe say you can only work 4 hours a day, so you get 4 hours of salary and 4 hours of workers' comp. But it needs to be in a form. It needs to be a narrative, but it also needs to be in a form CA-17, so that the supervisor has that. They get to read that. They don't get to read in their reports. So you need to get that taken care of. you should not be losing money. Then you want to go back to the days they stopped paying you. And that's not, and then most clinics are not going to be able to help you with that, but we will be glad to help you. Okay, here is the VA, Texas, claim denied. Came to see you guys, had 4 Nexus letters done. Great, my cases are still pending. Is there a connection between okay, they're still pending. This happened in May of 24, yeah, they're still pending, okay. Now, my new question, is there a connection between osteoarthritis, deep vein thrombosis, and peripheral embolism and a mild stroke? Sure. So if you have osteoarthritis in an ankle, hip, or knee, or whatever, and that causes weight gain, that can give you DVTs, you can have a stroke from that, a pulmonary embolism and a stroke. That's it. Recurring blood clot in my right knee. Okay, that's probably osteoarthritis, and the decreased movement. It's like just sitting in an airplane is dangerous, folks. You sit in an airplane, you can get a clot in your vein. Okay. Treated the VA for a year, and okay, any stroke, you need to get that approved. Has DVT and the clot behind his right leg. Yeah, that's all service connected. Sure it is. Could tinnitus contribute to my condition? Not that condition, but it contributes to sleep apnea, hypertension, but not that. But your osteoarthritis, just OA. That's more than enough. Okay. Now here's Robert. Tinnitus, exactly what I had. They denied my hearing loss, even though my ETS physical know that I had mild hearing loss. They only approved 10% for tinnitus and disapproved my hearing loss. Now, did they deny your hearing loss, or did they accept it and rate it at 0? If it's denied, you need to get that hearing loss approved, so that as you go back every few years, when it finally hits the threshold, it'll go up to 20. So it's worthwhile getting that done now. Now, in VA system, let me tell you how to take an audiogram at the VA. Be careful, these people are very fraudulent, and I'm calling it like it is. You can't go to Belltone and get an audiogram that works at the VA, but it can tell you whether you've got a high frequency pitch, which is noise, and more than enough to say you have noise-induced hearing loss. And just basic training makes that proves that. So I have a patient with bilateral hearing aids. You got to yell at him, can't hear. Cover your mouth, he can't hear you unless he sees your lips. That bad. He's got 10% for tinnitus, 0% for 6100 hearing loss. Because they take his audiogram, hearing test, then under the AMA guides rating would be over 30%, and rate him at 0. Because what they do, and the VA has a CD-ROM that repeats words, and see if you understand them, called speech discrimination. Do you understand this word? And I've had veteran after veteran after veteran say, oh, they kept repeating it until they understood it. Folks, that's fraud. That's criminal fraud against okay? That's fraud. If they don't understand the word, that's the end of that question. That go to the next word. And so they have 96% speech discrimination. They understood 96% of those words? Bullshit! Bullshit! So let's go after one of those audiologists. Let's sue her or him. Let's ruin their fucking career, and then everybody else will stand in line. But I'm telling you, if it's my patient, you better not do that. If you don't want to be yelled at, do it right. It's like telling Nazi had the oven said, you hurt my feelings. Well, you damn right I'm going to hurt your feelings. Okay, this is okay. That's that one. Okay. This is Larry. Thank you for your passion. No, my wife has a word for that. She calls me an asshole. As did Ken Edwards. This is my number one asshole mug. I love it. Okay. Camp Casey in Korea, 75, 76. claim for Parkinsonism was denied. The reason was the area I was stationed in. Okay, now, if you're in Korea and you see dead plants, grass around your compound, they used a herbicide, an Agent Orange. That makes you like a Vietnam vet, okay? You may not have it as a presumptive. The doctor's going to have to tie that together, but that's what did it, okay? All right, so did you have an Agent Orange exposure? Probably. Now, some of them are presumptive, like you're in Vietnam, one step discovered. Some of them are not, but the doctor can say the veteran saw dead grass around the compound that would a reasonable person, reasonable medical certainty, more likely than not, is caused by a herbicide, Agent Orange. Therefore, you've had the exposure. Bless you.